Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Predator, just released about 2 weeks ago, Monsterpalooza weekend, but I decided to hold off on doing any kind of review just for that reason because I will do spoilers. So yeah, here it goes. Before I even start, I will give a little bit of the plot, which is essentially our lead protagonist in this one. His name is Quinn McKenna, played by Boyd Holbrook. And in this one, basically, at the start of this film, his team is brutally killed by a predator, obviously. And then he is taken into custody for it. But it's weird because it's not like you saw an alien, we don't believe you type of scenario. They already know going in that there have been predator sightings in the past. They're well aware of the events of the previous films, which bonus points right there. That's cool right off the bat that they chose to acknowledge, the original, the second, all of them, even the Alien versus Predator movies, which I'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, they already know, and what they're actually after, what they're really questioning him about is the Predator technology, because he managed to steal a little bit of it, and he actually mails it off to his family just so the government doesn't get it. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, right off the bat. And yeah, so he gets taken into a bus with former military as well, and basically they go off, they have one of the predators already in, they captured it and they're just observing it and studying it. And so yeah, that predator escapes from a facility and is almost immediately after is killed by a more enhanced predator. I don't know if you guys want to call it the ultimate predator, enhanced, whatever you guys want to call it, but yeah. And so essentially that predator is now after these characters for that technology, because it carries some sort of weapon apparently. Yeah, basically the plot of the movie, folks. So now getting into stuff I liked. Okay guys, getting into stuff I liked. First thing I have to point out, which is I still have mixed feelings over it, the humor in this film. I loved it when it worked. Don't get me wrong, I love humor in horror films as long as it's not an overabundance of it. And what I mean by that is, obviously just here and there, sprinkle in a few jokes. As far as the interaction between all the characters, I definitely appreciated the humor in that, but there were certain scenes that I just felt were a little too much. I'll give you guys one example. There's a scene where they're in a police van or something like that, and there's about 3 officers, and 3 or 4 or something like that, and then the predator is silently killing them, a couple, the ones in the back of the van, and the driver is totally oblivious to it because you can't really hear. He's trying to be as stealth mode as he can. So yeah, he kills off all the officers in the back, and then the officer the driver turns around and he's like, yo, is everything okay? And then with the predator severs one of the officer's arms and holds it, like that. So that's all the officer sees, just an arm, oh, okay, everything's cool. But that to me just, I don't know, I felt out of character. I don't think the predator would do that. He would have just killed him. He's obviously armed, he's an officer, so he would have seen him as a threat. I don't know, I kind of didn't buy that. It almost kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Halloween trailer, but there's a scene in that where Michael holds a bunch of teeth and he drops them in a bathroom stall. As cool as that imagery is, and I did enjoy it, that to me, what's established in John Carpenter's original film as The Shape, Michael Myers, that character to me would never do that. He toy with, he's a shape. He'll kill you. That's it. That's what I felt in that particular scene in The Predator. But yeah, other than that, I loved the humor in this film. Especially, I have to point out, especially between the characters, I believe Baxley and Coyle, which were played by Thomas Jane and Keegan-Michael Key. those two characters I felt added a certain element to the film. I did enjoy the humor between them. You know, their banter back and forth. They had like that love hate relationship with each other, which I felt was pretty cool. And even though spoilers, yeah, they both get pretty sliced up like pretty bad by the Predator, and so they end up shooting each other like at the exact same time, which I thought was kind of cool. One more thing I liked was, as I said earlier, all the references and Easter eggs to the previous Predator films. You know, there's there's a scene where they go into the facility where the Predator is captive, and you just see like on the wall like a bunch of cool, almost like in a trophy sort of manner. They have like the Predator helmets from like previous visits, and even the scepter or spear, whatever you guys want to call it, from Alien vs Predator, with the xenomorph tail like attached to it still. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, as much as I didn't like the second AVP movie, it's cool to know that they at least acknowledged it, and you know it's still technically canon in this film. So yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. And the fact, what else? Oh, I gotta point out the fact that they decided to keep a rated R rating, as opposed to a PG-13. Because honestly, I remember when AVP released in 2004, how happy I was. You know, like, oh, like two of cinema's biggest icons finally butting heads. You know, and then even as a 14-year-old back then, when I found out it was PG-13, I'm like, no, I mean, I can go see it now legally, but I wanted to sneak into it, and like I wanted to like pay a random adult to like sneak me in to watch the movie because I didn't care. I just want to see blood. It's Alien Predator. Like, how do you know? Anyway, yeah, I'm ranting on, but basically, I love the fact that they kept the R rating. Okay, guys, so getting into things I disliked about this film, one of the major ones for me personally, I just gotta say it. Jake Busey's character, spoilers, like I still have to say it, but his character is Sean Keyes, which is the son of Keyes from Predator 2, played by his father, Gary Busey. I mean, how perfect does that casting get, right? But yeah, when they announced him, I'll be honest, I got really excited. I'm like, oh crap. What I thought was going to happen was, you have Keyes. I don't know. I guess I thought, I got way ahead of myself. I thought Jake Busey's character in this one was going to have like kind of a, oh, one of your kind killed, my father in Predator 2. But, yeah, I thought he was going to just try to like want to frickin' kill all the Predators like in this one. Or I thought he was going to be like a major role, major bad guy type character in this one, and I thought it was a missed opportunity. He's wasted in this film, I'll be honest. Yeah, his character was a one-note character. He's not even in it for very long. He's just like right at the beginning, a couple scenes, and then you never hear from him again, really. One other thing I disliked about this film is at the very beginning, you have this entire horde of like scientists and doctors observing and studying the Predator, right? But then Quentin McKenna's son in this film, he's autistic, right? I believe his name was Rory, if I remember correctly. So you have this autistic little kid. He's probably like 10 years old or younger, and he finds the Predator technology, right? And he is just fucking figuring everything out. He like knows exactly what to do, and he's figuring out all kinds of secrets like Predator technology stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so you're telling me a little kid is smarter than like all these fucking scientists trying to figure out like the Predator? Like, I don't know, I didn't buy that. The last thing I disliked about this film was, I would have to say, the ending, for me personally, because it just felt like a missed opportunity. Like, if there were ever a missed opportunity in any Predator related anything, like for a Dutch cameo played by Arnold, it was definitely the ending to this movie because they built it up so good. The fugitive predator, the initial predator that comes to Earth in this film, has a gift for humankind to fight off the predators, which is why the enhanced predator was chasing him in the first place, to kill him and take it from him, so Earth wouldn't have that weapon. So at the very end, it's like in a pod or something, and they open it up, and all dramatic and everything, like smoke coming out, and you're kind of like, oh, like, who's it gonna be, or what's it gonna be, whatever. So yeah, and they reveal it's actually this. I mean, it was pretty cool. I won't lie. It was this pretty cool, like, weapon armor to basically, they called it the Predator Killer, which is obvious. It's obvious in the name, to wipe out all the predators. But I don't know. It felt a little too cartoonish for me. It looked like freaking. It looked like a mix of, like, the Predator had a kid with, like, Shredder from, like, Ninja Turtles or something, and I don't know, it was as if, as far as the imagery goes, it was as if, like, imagine the Predator going up to, like, Tony Stark, and he's like, hey, you know what, I need a weapon to freaking wipe out, like, all my kind, like, what do you got, what can you do for me? And then Tony's like, oh, yeah, you know what, my friend War Machine, yeah, let me just get his armor, and let's wrap a Predator helmet on it. Yeah, it kind of looked like that's what it looked like to me. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know. It was a little too cartoonish for me. Don't get me wrong, like, the idea was cool, but I don't know. And then that ending in general seemed like kind of a, yeah, we're definitely gonna make a sequel rather than just leaving this film to be like its own standalone thing. That's the vibe that I got, and I thought it would have been cool. Like, they set it up so good. Like I said. Smoke and everything, and everybody's like, whoa, what is it? And then I thought it would have been so fucking cool if when they opened up the pod, you just see, like, Arnold, like, frozen, like the predators took him, like, captive, and it was like his blood that they were enhancing themselves with. I thought that would have been cool. That would have definitely been, I would have been game for that sequel, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, that would have been awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all the stuff I disliked about it. Okay, guys, as far as the future of this franchise goes, it's pretty much anyone's guess at this point, because as you all may or may not know, Disney did just purchase a majority of Fox's assets, including this franchise, along with X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, the Alien series. So yeah, like I said, pretty much anyone's guess. There is a rumor that Disney does not want to be associated with this franchise. Like, they just don't want to make any more Alien or Predator films at all, which I hope is not the case, because honestly, they would be stupid not to. There's already a built-in audience. Like, we're gonna go see these movies no matter what. We love these characters. I personally enjoyed this one, to be quite honest with you guys. I went into it with that mentality. It's just a fun popcorn flick. Just go enjoy yourself. Don't expect I wasn't expecting the greatest story or the greatest acting or whatever. It was fun. It was fun characters, fun dialogue, humor, and yeah, I freaking enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And as far as the future goes, like I said, I know Arnold didn't want to do. They did offer him a cameo in this film, but he apparently turned it down because he wanted to star in this film, not just have a small cameo at the very end. Which, I mean, I still like my idea. I thought him at the very end of this one would have been the perfect lead-in for what he wanted, to star in the next one. So, I mean, who knows? It's anybody's guess what's going to happen with this franchise. I do hope there are more installments, because I've always been a Predator guy as opposed to the Xenomorph. Like, yeah, Predator is my thing. So yeah, I just freaking love these movies. I hope there's more, and we'll see what happens, guys. So that's going to do it for this video review. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys for the next one.